Welcome back. We are just a few weeks away from Election Day, and here at 13 WREX, we're making sure you're ready before heading to the polls.
Yeah, and we're keeping a close eye on all the races affecting the state line, including the race to Illinois' 17th Congressional District, which consists parts of Rockford and Freeport, stretching all the way down to Bloomington. Republican Joe McGraw challenging Democratic Eric Sorensen for a chance to represent parts of the state line in Washington, D.C.
Our 13 WREX's Manny Estopinan got a chance to talk to Representative Sorensen about all the issues top of mind for voters, starting with one of the biggest ones, the economy.
Parts of the 2017 Trump tax law are set to expire. If elected to Congress, would you vote to extend those tax cuts for households that make more than $450,000 a year?
Look, $450,000 is a lot of money. You look around the city of Rockford or in Winnebago County, whoever has that $450,000 salary has the $3 million house. That's who we're talking about. The wealthiest among us need to pay their fair share. It means that the fat cats can't just go on their vacations and spend their hard-earned dollars somewhere else. But look, we also have to understand that many of these taxes are going to expire. And there are some, and this may challenge some folks on the Democratic side, there are some here that have been effective in jump-starting the economy. And so, like I said before, we're going to have an all-of-the-above approach.
Now, for more than 2 decades, under several presidents, immigration reform has failed to pass Congress, and the reality is any legislation is going to require bipartisan support. Are you willing to reach across the aisle and reach consensus?
I have stood on the border with Republican members of the House to be able to learn what's going on at the border, because if Republicans and Democrats are there together and we can learn these things together, then we can come up with solutions. And so what I have done after going to the southern border is come back to Washington, D.C. and formulate the plan. The Stop Fentanyl at the Border Act, it's my bill. It is a bipartisan bill. It is supported by the National Fraternal Order of Police. We need to make sure that we solve this issue because it does affect us here.
And as of last month, CNN reports there's been at least 50 school shootings this year alone, leaving 24 dead. What proposal would you bring to Congress to ensure your district's security and ensure parents can safely send their kids to school?
We did nothing after Sandy Hook. We did nothing after Uvalde. And it makes me mad that we haven't done anything, because I'm going to tell you the truth. My in-laws that live in Rockton, they're proud gun owners, but they also want to separate themselves from the people that want to use firearms to do harm, because they're lawful people. We have to have more lawful gun owners in this country say, I'm going to be different than that. And it's okay, because everyone deserves to feel safe at a grocery store, in a place of worship, or in a school. Moms have to know that when they send their kids off to school, that their kids are going to come home safe. And so this is more about valuing responsible gun ownership. While we support the Second Amendment, but we have to do more for safety for innocent people.
Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the Reproductive Health Act into law in 2019, keeping abortion legal here in Illinois. Would you try and bring any national measures to Congress to try and protect the right to an abortion across the country?
The Access Act, for instance, helps clinics in Illinois who are overwhelmed by patients from neighboring states. 70% of the patients that come to Planned Parenthood in Carbondale, Illinois, 70% of the patients come from Nashville, Tennessee. And so this is already happening. Making this a states' rights issue does not work because it's already not working. But also, I will say, codifying Roe isn't enough. I am very comfortable saying that we need fewer abortions in this country. We should make sure that there's access to IVF, whereas the extremists on the other side want to take that away. We need to make sure that there's access to contraception and medical abortion. We have to make sure that those are there because the other side wants to take that away.
According to a CNN report, the United States has spent a record of at least $17.9 billion on military aid to Israel since the war in Gaza began. Would you continue military aid to Israel?
Israel does have a right to defend itself because those innocent lives, thousands of them, were taken. But also, it is egregious to me that the bombing in Gaza has just been left, and now we're going to Lebanon without going back to Gaza and saying, what is it that we're going to do to help you create that life, that peaceful life? You know, I want the people, the Palestinian people, to be able to have their own self-determinance. I want the Palestinian people to be safe.
And that was our Manny Estopinan reporting. Now, to learn more about the race for the 17th Congressional District, just head to our website right now at WREX.com.
Yeah, and Manny sat down with Joe McGraw last week. You can also rewatch that full interview also on our website.